Hello class, welcome to your YouTube channel GNP Educare. Uh, we have already learned in the previous class what are the parameters we should require for an off-grid system design and how to prepare a BOM, right? So what are the inputs basically required in the PVSys design of an off-grid system? We are already aware of it from the previous video. So today we are going to do the same design. We'll take a general load calculation of off-grid system and going to do the same system design to understand how we can basically go ahead and do the report generation for an off-grid system, right? So let us start and do the PVSys analysis of the off-grid system.
So for doing that, first let us write down the load, right? As we have remembered, we need to write down the load first, so that we can be in the same page. So let us write down the load analysis first. This is my load, number, watt and hours, right? So in this case, we have taken 24, we have taken light first load, 4 numbers, 20 wattage and 18 hours. Next we have taken fan, 2 numbers, 100 watt, 20 hours. TV, 1 number, 100 watt, 12 hours. Refrigerator, 1 number, 200 watt, 12 hours. This was 10 hours, 12 hours. Last computer, 1 number, 100 watt for 6 hours. So as per design, let us start the designing. This is what we have got. Another information. This is what we have got from the customer, and let us start designing, right? Once we open a PVSys, so the first 4 option comes: preliminary, project design, database and tools. Now we are designing an off-grid system. Off-grid system is called as a stand-alone system, the second option. Off-grid system, whenever we are opening the PVSys, off-grid system is called as stand-alone system. Why stand-alone system? Because it is not connected to any other grid, any other component. It is just like a generator which is giving supply to that particular household. That's why it is stand-alone. It is giving you only for that particular consumer. So we will click on the stand-alone and let the page open for our designing part, right? Similarly, we will do the design like yesterday. We will take Ahmedabad as our city. So beside the site file, we have search button. We are going to click on the search button first. Or first let us again do how we need to take the Meteo database. So what we are going to do is that we are going to first click on the Meteo database. The Meteo database to take the data for a particular city, right? So first what we are going to do is that we are going to click on Meteo database. Let us click. Once we click Meteo database, it will open the geographical site or our database pop-up block. So from here we need to click geographical site. Okay, so once we click the geographical site, we can see all the sites that is there already in the database. So from the database, let us select Ahmedabad, the third option, Ahmedabad. Once we click on Ahmedabad, it will open up into a new page where you can, if you want, you can set all the latitude, longitude, altitude from your side, and you can take the exact location of Ahmedabad, because it's a common location for the Ahmedabad whole city. So if you want the exact location, you can change the latitude, longitude, and the altitude. Time zone will be 5.5 for India. It's a green mean time zone. So the solar time difference would be 5.5. It's okay. You don't have to change that. Then we can check anyone from the Meteor data import. It can be Meteonom or NASA. We are taking it from Meteonom. Clicking on import. Once we click on the import data from the Meteonom, it will give us an option to overwrite the previous data to get the exact new data. So we'll click on yes and let it overwrite. Okay. So once we have clicked to overwrite the data, it will give us the new data. So what we'll do is that we will save the data in any mode you want. You can get it as, you can see on the right hand side is showing kilowatt hour per meter per day or per meter per month. I will be taking it for per day and saving it. Once we click on the save option, it will ask us to overwrite again yes, and ultimately it will save the data. It will open a box and will let us to save the data. Okay, so we will click and save the data. So once the data is saved, it will go to the component choice or the total data collection, right? So we can see that we have got the data of Ahmedabad. You can see Ahmedabad MN71 is showing on your site list now. So we can take this site list from here. So let us close it. Once we are done with the Meteor database, we need to select the same file from the site name. So beside the site name, there's search button. We are going to click the search button and we'll open the same page where we have put all our sites. So let us click on the search button. Okay, we have got the page. The fourth option, you can see it is showing Ahmedabad MN. The previous Ahmedabad was the normal data and the Ahmedabad MN is the new data that we have saved, Ahmedabad MN71. So let's select the site Ahmedabad MN and click on OK. If you want to put a new site, there is an option below you can see as new. You can click on the new and you can take a new site from your, you can put the data from your site, you can take a new site. Okay, we are selecting Ahmedabad for this case. Okay. So once we have selected Ahmedabad, first we need to save the file name. So we will give the file name as Off-Grid Design Project and today's date as 23/4/20. Similarly, we will give the new project name as Off-Grid Design and today's date as 23/04/20, and ultimately we would save it. Or please remember, until and unless we save the site, it won't allow us to do the design. So first we need to save the site. So let us click on the save button beside the project name and save it. Okay, yes, we have saved it. So once we have saved it, you can see it will give you the option to do the design. Now we have to come to the input parameters. First, orientation part, which is nothing but a roof analysis. Let us click the orientation part. Once we click on the orientation part, it will give us to put the tilt angle. Let us click on the tilt angle. Here we have considered the tilt angle as 23 degrees and the azimuth as 15 degrees. So 15. Okay, so we have taken the azimuth as 15 and the tilt angle as, even in the screen you can see once I have changed the azimuth, the blue shaded portion has changed. It has shown that how the roof is as per the exact south, right? So the roof position has already changed to show you the exact azimuth. Once it is done, we will click on, we have selected the fixed tilt option. It's a small plant, so we will go for fixed tilt. If you want seasonal tilt adjustment, you can check seasonal tilt adjustment too. So it will give, you can see if you like click on the seasonal tilt adjustment, it will give you two options. One, For the summer month we will have from April to September. Well, you need to keep a separate tilt, and for winter month you can keep the separate tilt, right? Which I have taught you. So for the separate tilt, you can give the summer tilt as 23 plus minus 15 will come as 8, and the winter tilt will be 23 plus 15, so it will be 38. Fine. Okay, just hold on. It will be, I've gone to the seasonal tilt adjustment. 23 minus 8 for minus 15 for summer will give you 8, and for winter it will be 23 plus 15, 38. Okay, the azimuth, where are you seeing electrical effect here? The azimuth here is 15 degrees. Okay, so here you can see that again I'm mentioning, if you're going for seasonal tilt adjustment, it is not automatic tracking, it is a manual tracking. We need to do the tilt adjustment in 2 times, one on April and one on October. So summer tilt will be considered from April to September. Bhavya, if you have any question, you can note it down. We will discuss the questions at the end of the class. One is from April to September, and next is from October to March. Fine. So we are taking the seasonal tilt adjustment. Okay. Whenever you will do any changes, it will ask you to do the save. So we need to do saving. Whenever we are doing any changes, it will ask us to save the file. So we will go ahead and do the save first. Let us save. Once we are done with the saving, after orientation, you can see here, unlike your grid content system, there is another parameter for input, which is user need. In grid content system, we have 3 parameters: orientation, system, and detail losses. But here you have another thing which is called as user need, which is the off-grid load analysis. Let us click on the user need and let us see what is open up. So once we click on the user need, we can see it will give us the definition of the household consumptions which we need to do. You need to save the file for proceeding. Please save the file properly. Okay, so once we click on the user need, you can see we have been given an option where we can add different types of components. So we have already discussed what components we need to add. So we are going to add 4 lamps, lights, LED, whatever of 20 watt. So let us change it to 20 watt. And the number of hours it is operating is 18 hours. So 18 hours. Next we have taken fan load. We have taken 2 fans. So let us mention as 2 fans of 100 watt for 20 hours. Okay, we have taken 2 fans of 100 hours for 100 watt of 20 hours. We will take one television. So we are putting one television of 100 watt running for 10 hours a day. We have taken one refrigerator of 200 watt refrigerator is given as kilowatt. So please note that as refrigerator is given as kilowatt per day, we need to convert it to 0.2 to ensure the kilowatt. Okay. In case of refrigerator, it gives generally as kilowatt, right? So let us put all the appliances one by one. We have given 4 lights, 2 fans, one television, one refrigerator. Always remember, refrigerator will always be in kilowatt. So please convert it into kilowatt. Divide your wattage by 1000. It will, in this case, it will be 0.2. Okay. And the number of hours the refrigerator is operating is 12 hours. And lastly, one computer. One computer is 100 watt for 6 hours. So we have taken everything. This is our consumption. They are different. You can take it seasonal consumption, or you can take it season. Even if you want, you can see below there is an option called weekend or weekly use. If you want to divide it in 2 different weeks, you can. Like you can say that from Monday to Friday we have separate consumption, and from on the other day we have separate consumptions, right? Here, another option you have is, and above there is a tab called hourly distribution. You can see you have been given hourly distribution. You need to first fix all the hourly distribution, that is in which hour it is running. 0 is the midnight hour. So we need to do coloring of the part of the hourly distribution. For LED or light, we have talking about 18 hours. So 18 hours we generally take, just hold on. For 18 hours, what we have taken is that we have taken from 4 a.m. in the morning till 12 in the night. We have done our lights are on, right? On the other fan, we have taken for 20 hours. So our fan is only switch off. Let us be considering our fan is only switch off from 10 to 12. So except 10 to 12 in the morning, we will do all the coloring, right? So we'll come to 10. We will just leave 2 hours for both the fans. Okay. TV has given us 24 hours. Just hold on. Let us check. Obviously, it is taken 24 hours. No. We need to change there as 18, 20, and we have told TV as 10 hours. So we need to change it accordingly. Next is the refrigerator. Refrigerator is 6 hours. So we are taking it is running from 12 to 6. Okay. So we are taking 6 hours for the refrigerator. Lastly, refrigerator we have taken as 12 hours. So it will be 12 to 12 in the night. So we are marking it as 12 to 12 in the night. And lastly, computer for 6 hours. We are taking computers running for 12 to 6 office working time. So from here you can see that hourly profile curve is basically showing it is showing in what hours what is the exact consumption. So by any chance, whatever we are designing, it might be a over design, right? But in case of this, as we are not at all doing the design, in case of early distribution in manual design, we can't give it, right? But in case of these PVCs, the plus point is, if we want, we can go ahead and do the designing from our side, right? So if early distribution, it will help us to integrate and ensure that we are exactly using that amount of batteries, not more. Because if my maximum duration, like if you can see from the graph, the maximum power consumption is from 10 a.m. in the like 12 a.m. in the morning till 6 p.m. So 12 to 4 is our sunlight hours. So in the sunlight hours, we won't be requiring so much amount of batteries. It can be directly done from our sunlight, right? So you can make direct array system. So let us adjust all the hourly generation. Because in case of TV, we have mentioned as 10 hours, but accidentally we have taken 23 hours. So we need to come down to 10 hours for TV. Okay. So once we are done with the hourly distribution and the consumption, both the sheets, we will save it. Okay. Once we will click on OK, it will be asking you to save it. Once we are done with both the sheets, we will click on OK. It will ask you to save. So let's save it again. Please remember, in this design, every step we need to save. If not, it won't allow us to move to the next step. So we are done with the orientation part. We are done with the user's need, right? So we have mentioned previously in the class that in user's need, it will allow us to give a hourly distribution, which we can't do manually. That we have shown. Next, we are coming to the system. For the system, already you can take the battery user voltage. Battery user voltage I will take as 12 volts, as we have already told that we have 12 volt as a nominal voltage, right? Okay. Now coming to the specify user. So first, it will allow me to, I will going to design the PV array. We have already got the total amount is the planned PV array is equal is 1.8. So the PV, we just need to select the module make. In this case, we have already discussed, we will select Adani, and ultimately we would select 325 watt peak. In this case, as we have done the hourly distribution in our manual calculation, we have got 11 modules, right? 11 modules of 325 watt peak. But from here, you can see we are getting only 7 modules. So ultimately, our optimization is increasing, right? On the other hand, you can see after the PV module, we have another option called controller. Controller, we can only check which type of controller we can choose. So we have all the manufacturers. We can click on all the manufacturers and you can choose any one of the controllers, right? And you can only choose, if you are taking universal controller, you have been only given the option of MPPT converter or DC to DC converter, that is PWM. So if you are choosing universal controller and let PVSys choose controller for you, there would be two options, MPPT converter and DC-DC. But if you are choosing it from your side, there are database from where you can choose your controller too. Once it is done, next we can design, as I have said, there is no way to design inverter, but we can design battery. So let's click on storage. Once we are clicking on storage, you can see it will give you battery options. You can take as any type of battery. You can take lead acid battery or lithium ion battery. Nowadays, two types of batteries are basically used in solar. First is the lead acid battery, the old type batteries. It's a wet type battery. We need to maintain water level properly in this case, which is called as VLRA. But nowadays, a new technology has come up, lithium ion, where it's a dry type battery, and generally its life is more than lead acid. So we have both the options. Whatever battery we want to choose, we can go for lithium ion or we can go for lead acid. So whatever we want to choose, we can go ahead and select the batteries from here. So if we have 12-volt batteries, we have 160 ampere hour battery with us. But if we have, so let us select 160 ampere hour 12-volt batteries. So from here you can see the number of batteries we are getting is 18 batteries as per our calculations. Similarly, once we have selected, you can see that our calculation was exactly right. It is showing as 2 numbers of batteries should be in series and 9 should be in parallel. That what we have got in our calculation. So it's just to tell you whether we have done the calculation correctly or not. But yes, as we have done the calculation correctly, once we have selected 12-volt 160 ampere hour battery, number of batteries and the battery as per series and parallel connection, 2 in series and 9 in parallel, is coming as same. Okay. From here you can also find out, on the right hand side you can find out the weight of the battery. The weight of the battery is, the total weightage of the battery is 1336. What it will do is that it will help us to determine if you want to make a battery rack where you want to put the batteries. It will help you to determine what is the structure cost it would require for the battery rack. So 1336 kgs of battery we would be using. I have told another thing during the class that we can go ahead and put generators, right? So let us click on the backup option. There we have backup option. Once we click on backup option, it will ask you questions. One, whether the customer used generator or not. If the answer is no, nothing to be done. If the answer is yes, click on yes. Once the answer is yes, we can go ahead and select the type of generator customer is using. 1.5 kilowatt generator customer is using or 3 kilowatts customer is using. So we can choose that. In this case, our customer is using no generator, so we are not going with this option, right? Once we are done, we can click on the scheme. This is the best typical scheme or typical layout of a standalone system, right? What you can do is that you can take this, if you want to, we are making a feasibility report or a detailed project report, you can go ahead and you can take this and keep it as your report, right? Okay, so once we are done with this system integration, we will go by OK. Once we click on OK, it will give us the next option, which is the detailed losses. It is same as the on-grid losses we were talking about, right? So we won't be changing anything, but if you want or any specific detailed tender is asked, then you can change. Though we are going to discuss the detailed loss parameters one by one. First, thermal parameters. As we know, it's a parameter maintained by your module manufacturer. There is no point of doing it. Next is ohmic loss. That is the generally 1.5% is taken as a voltage, the 0.7% is taken as a voltage drop, and 1.5% is taken as a loss fraction. So the ohmic loss is the loss due to the resistance of the particular conductor or the cable we are using, right? LID losses, as declared, we did not do the changes because it is basically being taken from the module data sheet. Soiling loss, we have already discussed. Soiling loss, generally we take it as 3%. If it's a very dusty area, if not, we can take as 1%. Okay. If we go by, we click on default, it will go by 3%. If we remove the default and put it ourselves, we can put any values we want. IEM loss or incident angle modifier losses is nothing but it's a loss taken from the IV curve of the module. So there is no point of us to change. Last is the aging effect, same taken from the module, so no point of us to change. Once we are done with this, we will click on OK. From here you can see that you have been given, once all the system is done, you have been given the option or your work block is showing as ready for simulation. So once it's showing for ready for simulation, we will run the simulation for this system. So let's run the simulation. And let the system simulate and get us the results. Okay, once the system simulation is done, we will click on OK to save the simulation. And once OK, we'll click on OK, it will ask us whether we should save the simulation or not. Similarly, we need to save it. Once we have saved it, we will see that the report options has opened up. So let's click on report. Once we click on report, we will get the standalone system report. As mentioned, the first page will show you, as in this case, it will show you all the parameters, like whatever system we have chosen, the orientation part and the system part. It will show you only these two parts. Automatically, it will show you the which controller the system has already chosen for you. Because controller generally we don't buy, we basically customize it. So it will show you that only. Once it is done, from here the next is our load profile, the load profile that we have put here. So from here you can check that this is the exact load profile we have put here. Fine. Next, once we are done, next is what is the generation, like what generation of kilowatt. It will give us the flowchart, what is the exact incident we are getting and what is you. If you compare a flowchart of on-grid to off-grid, you can see in all case of off-grid, the loss is very much. So we can't help it out because there are various types of changes in case of off-grid system. For batteries, we are converting from batteries, again going to inverter, again from charge controller. So the multiple number of components in which the conversions are taking place, and due to such number of conversions, automatically the losses in off-grid system is more. Fine. Let us close the report. Again, I'm showing you in optional you have economic evolution. If you click on the economic evolution, you can put on the values, you can change the currency to INR or India, and you can put on the values like the cost of the PV modules, the cost of the structure, battery, controller, cables, if any other miscellaneous cost we have missed. So you can put everything, even you can put the taxes, subsidy, everything to get the result, the economic results for your calculation. Fine. So in this part, what we have learned is that we have learned how to do a system design in manually, off-grid system design manually, how to generate a BOM and how to do the same design in PVSys, and how to analyze the economic aspect and the technical aspect of our off-grid system.
Today we have learned how to do the designing of off-grid system using this PVSys software. In the PVSys software, we already learned the two topics. One is how to do the design in on-grid system or grid-connected systems, and next is how to design off-grid systems, right? In the next part, we have with this PVSys, the basic training of PVSys is done, but in the basic solar training, we will have two more parts. In the next part, we'll see how installation is done in a basic rooftop site. It can be a RCC or it can be a tin shed site. So we will learn in both cases how installation process is done, what are the basic steps, and we'll see a live site so that we can understand how installation is done on the site. And in the next part, we are going to learn what are different types of solar components we are going to use, like solar street lights, solar home lighting systems, solar pumping. So we are going to learn how these components behave, what are the different components required, right? In the bonus part, we will also learn how to do our DPR preparation. Like we have learned how the report is being generated, right? So what are the important parameters which is required in the DPR preparation, and with that class, our PVC and the basic solar designing part will be completed. As we have mentioned in the previous video, the advanced renewable course will also come, which will contain of all the renewable energies and a special emphasis on the solar part in advanced course. And in that course, we are going to basically bring the all the elaborate explanation of all parts along with grid connected uh, ground mounted system, how installation is done there in the advanced system, which will start in 1st February 2022. Okay guys, so for our effort we would like you to like, share, subscribe and hit the bell icon for further updates. And we'd also request you to share this video to as much as your friends and colleagues possible, so that more people can be benefited from this video. If you have any doubts, query regarding this part or any other previous parts, like in AutoCAD or even in PVSys, till now the videos which have been uploaded, you can write on the comment section, and even you can mail to us, you can WhatsApp us, so that we can discuss over the same and clear your queries, right? Even if you have multiple doubts, we can also do a small video of that doubt clearing sessions where all the doubts can be cleared in a single way. For people who are asking for Hindi videos, we are going to bring the Hindi videos of the same part, the basic solar training, in the month of February, and we will update it accordingly. So for the Hindi persons, the video will also come in the basic solar training in Hindi, but that will be uploaded in the month of February along with the advanced renewable energy course in English. Okay class? Thank you, and in the next class we'll meet with the installation procedure of a solar system in rooftop.